Finally, after 3 years, the Rising of the Shield Hero is back. Now, I've already made my issues with the first season and how I felt like I kind of dropped off at the later parts, but it did kind of present some interesting ideas right at the very end. But yes, my impressions on the first episode of the Rising of the Shield Hero second season, so let's jump right into it. I have to say that I had a little bit of an issue coming into the second season. There's certain things, details of this world that I was a little bit hazy on, but I do appreciate the fact that through subtle points throughout this first episode, they did do a little bit to kind of reacquaint you with certain aspects. I'm basically using Rishia as a way of kind of recapping things, explaining things to her so that we kind of get a picture of it as well. This whole conversation with Fido and Vittoria and re-explaining the whole idea that if the heroes don't come together, Vittoria's going to kill them all. That way they can kind of reset the whole hero system and they can get people that'll actually work together, which is an ongoing issue with this entire series, is the heroes never wanting to work together. But oddly enough, here's my issue so far with the starting of this season is I'm already starting to get a little annoyed with Rishia. And that's the unfortunate thing. I mean, she was pretty loud at the end of the last season as, Naofumi brought her in after she was discarded by Itsuki. But I'm already getting a little bit annoyed by her and her constant whining and this whole idea that they're trying to get her stronger. Now, I think it's going to be great because of how annoying she is, how whiny she is. I'm sure the payoff of when she actually gets powerful will be really great. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. This idea that now that she is linked up to Naofumi, she's going to start getting power leveled and she's going to get stronger. And then, you're going to have that payoff where she finally shows Itsuki, I'm better now. Now, the question mark's going to come, and I think this is the big question mark that I have, is when she's finally strong enough to really show Itsuki off, will she go back to him? That's going to be the big question mark, because technically the reason why Rishia, I believe, is in Naofumi's party to begin with is that Naofumi sees himself in Rishia. That he was discarded, that he was falsely claimed as being weak, he was discarded by the group, just like Naofumi was, and now he presented that to her at the end of the last season. He basically told her, look, you get stronger and you prove them wrong. Don't die, prove them wrong, and that'll be a lot better. So again, while I'm a little annoyed by her so far and her whininess, I am looking forward to the payoff that could possibly come. Now, there's another side of me that really feels like Rishia is going to be a tragic character. Like everything... Let's chop it up as her hairstyle. Let's chop it up as, her dreams of being stronger and proving Itsuki wrong. But I kind of feel like she is a tragic character. Like she is going to die. I don't think she fits the mold of Naofumi's party. She's not interested in Naofumi or anything. Raphtalia is interested in Naofumi. Fido is interested in Naofumi. Obviously, Melty was as well. Like everybody that's around Naofumi is into Naofumi. Wants to follow him to the end of the world. Now, again, granted, Rishia could become that just by how he's helping her, but I don't see that. I see her dying, and I think it's going to be near Itsuki, and he's going to realize what he left behind. Now, the argument comes with the conversation, especially what they had when they had the meeting with the queen, is Itsuki was essentially asking about her, asking if she talked to her parents. Obviously, Itsuki cares about her, even though Itsuki's subordinates want to push her away. They claim that, the reason why he left, right? It wasn't because he wanted to protect you, it's because you are weak. And you're a waste of space, and you're going to put everybody in danger. I don't think that's in Itsuki's mind. I really don't. And so I think it's going to have this moment where Itsuki realizes in her death that he basically failed her. So I don't want it to be that way, but I just I'm already getting the vibes of Tragic Girl here. I'm really getting the vibes of Tragic Girl here. I did get a kick out of the fact that Raphtalia is looking for ways to getting Rishia stronger, looking for weapons for her, and she's like, oh, I don't normally will this. I'm a caster. And Naofumi's like, well, at least you could wear a weapon. I'm like, gosh damn it. I thought we were over this Naofumi, and he's just like whiny about it, like, at least you could wear a sword. Like, what? That's like the most childish response of the whole situation ever. But no, I like how Raphtalia like immediately grabs her and goes, oh, I have a great idea. And she drags them all to this place with the trader guy, and they get in front of this trader guy, and then Raphtalia's like, oh, become Naofumi's slave. And it's like, wait, wouldn't you explain that before you came there? I just always get a kick out of Japanese writing where they always kind of wait until they get to somewhere before they explain the situation. Or they open it. It's like the thing where somebody opens the door and starts like spewing out a bunch of dialogue, and then the camera cuts to what they're actually looking at, and then they react to the fact that whatever they thought was behind the door isn't really there. And it's like, wouldn't you see immediately when you open the door, not spew out a bunch of dialogue before you see who's behind the door. It's always funny, but it was good to remind us that Malty's a pile of garbage, so we had a nice little reminder of that. But no, aside from Rishia, it seems like the main crux of this particular core, which I think they've already established as 13 episodes, it does seem like it's mainly focused on this legendary tortoise. So out of nowhere, this town that Naofumi has been basically given access to and given leadership of, they start getting attacked by these weird bat things, and then eventually they realize that there's this tortoise. And also, the wave timer has stopped. Now, so far in this episode, they've basically brushed aside the whole counter-stopping thing. It's like, well, this is the big focus, is this legendary turtle. Let's put this aside and we'll deal with that later, which I would probably argue there's a good chance that they're probably connected, because unless it was like a long time before, he could have not noticed the timer stopped, and then way later this invasion happened, and then he looked at it again. But the assumption right now is that they're linked, but they could be separate stories. But the main focus right now is on this turtle. Obviously, the queen brings all the heroes together. It is so stupid. Again, it's one of those really stupid moments. It's like the queen tells them about this turtle and how it's really dangerous and it's caused calamities. And one of them stands up and says, "Nah, I'm out of here." And then everybody literally, it seems like all the other two heroes all are the same mind. Like, well, because we're only here for the waves, we don't care. It's like, well, okay, sure. They all three just don't care. I sometimes wonder if the writer tries too hard to make all the heroes and the villains. And I struggle with that with the first season, and I think I have that same feeling with this season. They all have their own desires. Like, I think the first season did really well in establishing that, Rin and Itsuki doesn't think alike. Motoyasu and Rin don't think alike. They three equally don't think alike. They're just, in a sense, they're always kind of shown in a bad light. And so I'm assuming at some point they're going to get involved with this turtle. It just seems like it kind of goes out of its way with this particular meeting to go, oh yeah, we're all the same mind. We don't care. Have fun. Enjoy your turtle, because it's nothing to do with us. But yeah, obviously Naofumi is the cool guy, so he stays behind and they talk about actually going to take down this turtle. Correction, CGI turtle. Now, the intro doesn't show it in CGI, but yeah, the first introduction was like, oh no, it's the CGI turtle. We're doomed. And yeah, as the episode wrapped up, they talk about how they have to go to the east, is where it's actually at, this turtle kingdom. And as they're arriving there, it does seem like a lot of the structures and stuff start changing to more Eastern style. So again, it seemed like, and I think it was a lot in the first season as well, they hint a lot at the idea of Japanese influence in this world. And I think that I want to say they hinted quite heavily that the first shield hero that helped the demi-humans was Japanese as well. But it obviously insinuates a lot of influence from Japanese culture into the world itself. And like I said, when they go to the East, it seems like a lot of the structures turn more Eastern, so... But yeah, they go there, they fight these invaders, he has to use his super Wraith shield again, and a Wrath shield again, and then that's when this lady shows up and says, "You're the shield hero, right? Please kill me." Which I'm assuming it's probably going to be one of those things where she's somehow, I don't know, some sort of connection to the turtle itself. Maybe she believes that if she dies, the turtle will die, or maybe there's some sort of blood connection between the two of them, but... That's what my assumption is going to be based on that just kind of random appearance. Hey, kill me, please. But yeah, like I said, really solid first episode. Like I said, did a really good job of kind of inserting recaps rather than us having a recap episode or having this whole long, 5 minutes of recap. It did well in having Rishia be sort of the vessel for us to reacquaint ourselves with certain aspects of this world itself. And obviously the big mysteries we have right now is why did the counter stop? What is this lady? The big tortoise, how powerful he's going to be. It seems like there's some insinuation that it causes a lot of calamity. How difficult will that be compared to most of the waves they faced so far, or the heroes from the other world? And I'm kind of curious at this point of how much time Vittoria is going to give the heroes to actually band together. She's already made the threat twice at this point that she will kill all the heroes so that they will re-summon new heroes, so it doesn't seem like she's too pressed to threat them right now with the threat of the turtle, but that could shift. She said basically, if you guys can't band together, you're going to have to handle it yourself. And again, that's aside from the waves themselves, which again are technically frozen at the current point. It almost makes me believe that something that's causing the timer to stop is maybe a misalignment of the two worlds. If one is slightly off from the other one, it would cause it to kind of be desynced. So if you have two parallel worlds, they both have time spanning through it. That timer for them to come together for a wave would have to be synced. So if one kind of drops behind for some certain reason, it would have to wait for it to catch up before the wave would continue and the times would be synced again. But that's just my mind just running completely rampant. So see, but that's my thoughts on the first episode of the Rise of the Shield Hero episode 1. I hope you guys will join me weekly if I do cover this on a weekly basis. Either way, if you subscribe to this channel, you'll get my other first impressions of the other shows this season. I'll be looking for which ones I can get enough conversation out, stuff that I enjoy watching and stuff that I can get some really good theorizing going with. I always enjoy those types of shows. But either way, I hope you'll join me for that. As always, can you hit that like button down below? It definitely helps us out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this first episode so far. Are you looking forward to the rest of the season? Let me know. And of course, if you want to support us additionally, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a merch site in our description below. We definitely appreciate everybody that supports us, and y'all take care.